Hello, I'm Grady Wulff, Market Analyst with Bell Direct, and this is a very special edition of our weekly market update. As we close out the big year that was FY24 and 2024, this week I had the honour of catching up with some rising stars in the mining industry to discuss drilling campaigns, exploration updates, assay results, and the outlook for different commodities in 2025. Join me for 6 minutes with 6 executives in this special edition of our weekly wrap. I'm thrilled today to be joined by Todd Ross, Managing Director of DevEX. Tim Goyder-backed company, pure uranium play with assets in the Northern Territory. Todd, exciting new times for you with the company.
It is, yeah. Great to see you, Grady. Thanks very much.
Good to
happy
see
to
you.
Be here.
Yeah, so you recently did join DevEX. What drew you to the role in the company?
Oh, look, many factors, but I think being able to work in, with Tim Goyder and the group, the fact that it's uranium focused, we've got a massive land holding, exploration potential in the Northern Territory in a resurging uranium market. So what better place to be, really? So DevEX is really a uranium focused exploration company. We're looking to develop our uranium assets in the Northern Territory. What we're chasing is high grades, monster uranium deposits. So the likes of the Jabiluka, the Ranger uranium mine. There's 700 million pounds in the Alligator Rivers uranium province where we're operating. Either known or mines uranium mineralisation. We're after the monsters.
You've just upgraded the resource at the Dalgaranga Gold Project. What's the significance of the update in terms of grades and endowment on your new key underground deposits?
Look, I think it's very significant. We've managed to post a resource for Pepper, which we only discovered in April, of over 870,000 ounces at a grade of north of 10.3 grams a tonne. So pretty incredible upgrade. And that fits nicely with the 1.5 million ounces at over 8 grams at Never Never right next door. So really happy with where that puts us. And we're obviously out there at the moment fundraising on the back of that as a foundation, because that's going to provide a really good underpinning for a long mine life operation.
There's been a lot of activity going on. We put out a feasibility study in the middle of the year, which showed really strong economics for our nickel sulfide project. We've had a resource upgrade, which has now taken our resource to over 1.2 million tonnes of contained nickel metal.
Wow.
So it's big. Not too many of those around the globe. And we're trying to leverage off that, obviously in the backdrop of what is not a great nickel market right now. But I think one of the biggest things coming out of the feasibility study was where our operating costs are going to sit. And very low. So I think that's going to hold us in very good position. We're going to be able to compete with Indonesia every day of the week. And that's probably the most critical aspect to how we get this project up and running.
And that's what we want to hear, absolutely. Investors are looking for that low cost in a depreciated market at the moment.
Very different, much bigger in scale, but amazing opportunities, and we have 2 world-class projects that you mentioned, copper and gold, and in time they'll be huge mining assets producing hundreds of thousands of ounces of gold and copper. Wow,
so way above sea level, which is really exciting. But the Limons project in South Ecuador looks like a massive big gold discovery. How does it compare to other gold discoveries you've seen? And can you give us an update on this asset and plans for it?
Yeah, so Limon is a very nice epithermal system that we've been drilling for the last 12 to 18 months. Next year we expect to put out a maiden resource. I expect at least 1 million ounces. But high grade, quite similar maybe in terms of profile to WA, but a key part of our much bigger Brahmaderos project.
It has mineral exploration assets in Serbia and Western Australia. Tell us about the difference in mining between those 2 jurisdictions.
Well, obviously WA is a mining heartland of Australia, so it's a much bigger industry in WA, but Serbia has a number of massive world-class deposits. So it's actually in its own right got its own long history of mining in Serbia. And in fact, most people wouldn't realise, but Serbia is actually Europe's 2nd largest copper producer. So it does have a big mining industry, and it's looking to grow that as well.
Now, you did acquire the Rogozna project in obviously in Serbia last year. What attracted you to that project, and what's the outlook for it moving forward?
So I've actually been with that project for 5 years.
Wow.
So
they acquired you as well.
What attracted me in 2019 to that project was I took one look in the data room. It was owned by Eldorado Gold at the time. They were looking to sell, not because of anything to do with the project, but more so they had a few corporate challenges going on, and their management just said, we've got no budget for exploration, sell all non-core assets.
Tin is not something we often talk about. It's not a very known commodity on the Australian market. Talk to me about the market demand right now and what its place is in the current market environment.
I think it's a really important question at the moment. Tin is facing a lot of supply challenges in particular, really because no one's really thought about tin for a long time. And these days, tin is in solder, so it holds all electronics together. And so it's very important in particularly in emerging AI industries and all other electronics. There's a lot used in EVs where anything that is talking about renewable energy needs controlling cells and things, and they need tin. So very much tin at the moment is at the forefront of the technology revolution, and supply is continually being challenged with the two largest suppliers, Indonesia and China, actually on the decline in tin supply, and the demand is obviously only going up.
I hope you enjoyed the update from the helm of the Resources Rising Stars executives. Let's now look at what moved markets this week. The local market posted a near 0.5% gain over the trading week to a fresh record on Tuesday amid GDP rising slower than economists forecasted and Wall Street rising to fresh record highs. Consumer discretionary stocks led the gains this week on the back of the record Black Friday sales, while real estate stocks fell out of favour with investors over the trading week. The winning stocks on the ASX 200 this week were led by De Grey Mining, soaring 26% on a takeover offer from Northern Star Resources worth $3.26 billion. Gold Road Resources also added 11% over the trading week, and Block Inc rose 10.3%. On the losing end, Liontown Resources fell 11%, Ordinate lost 10.87%, and Coronado Global Resources ended the week down 10.81%. The most traded stocks by our clients this week were led by GPT Group, De Grey Mining, Pro Medicus, BHP Group, Fortescue and Rio Tinto. Clients also bought into Mesoblast while taking profits from Westpac, Woolworths and CBA. The most traded ETFs by our clients this week were led by Vanguard MSCI Index International Shares ETF, Vanguard Australian Shares Index ETF and BetaShares Australian High Interest Cash ETF. On the economic calendar front next week, Australia's business confidence data for November is out on Tuesday, just before the RBA's last rate decision for 2024 on Tuesday as well, where it is widely expected Australia's central bank will maintain the current cash rate at 4.35%. Westpac consumer confidence data is also out later next week for Australia. Overseas, China's inflation rate data for November is out on Monday with the forecast of slight growth, and China's trade balance is out on Tuesday with the forecast of a slight decline in the current trade surplus. In the US, key inflation data is out on Wednesday, with economists forecasting the annual inflation rate to rise to 2.7% from 2.6%, while core inflation is expected to remain at 3.3%. And that's all for this Friday. Have a wonderful weekend and happy investing.